Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and come into a good cross leg position. So be in cross legs. Just feel that you are sitting with levelness. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. Elevate your heart area up to the ceiling and draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Lift up into the chest, drawing the shoulders down, look down at the floor, look at something that isn't moving. Allow your eyes to become still in the sockets, just looking at something that doesn't move. And consciously fill your lungs from the bottom to the top and empty them from the top to the bottom. Filling your lungs from the bottom to the top, emptying them from the top to the bottom. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. Push the palms firmly together, lengthen from the armpits into the elbows. Elbows into the heels of the hands, the heels of the hands into the fingertips. Take a deep inhalation and with an exhalation allow your eyes to gently close. Stay with the breath, filling your lungs from the bottom to the top, emptying them from the top to the bottom. Filling your lungs from the bottom to the top. And emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom. With an exhalation, draw your chin down to meet your chest, lift your chest up to meet your chin. Consciously draw the shoulders away from your ears. Listen to the sound of the in-breath, the sound of the out-breath. Just focusing on filling the lungs from the bottom to the top, emptying them from the top to the bottom, seeking to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area as you release your hands down toward your knees, backs of the palms in contact with the knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. A gesture of wisdom, physical intelligence, and peacefulness that we can carry into our practice as an intention. Raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open, and then hold onto your knees. Hold on to your knees and elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation in through the nose. And with an exhalation, turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, turning with the exhalation. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left, drawing your abdomen across your ribs and your shoulders, observing how the turn feels. So we had a little bit of time off because of Easter. So how does your body feel now that you are back on the mat? Is there resistance? Is there freedom? Is there a mix? Come back to the center. Come off your lift and then come down into Adho Mukha Virasana. So sit back on your heels, have the big toes together, the knees apart, wriggle into your inner heel so that you draw the outer buttock into the inner heel. Push the shins into the floor consciously, lengthen up into the chest, and then from there, keeping the seat bones down on the heels as much as you possibly can, wriggle into the hips. Wriggle the hips, stretch forwards, and then bring the forehead down. Try to use your physical intelligence to know that the seat bones are connected to the heels, so feel that the seat bones are connected to the heels. Listen to the breath. Everyone get hold of the edges of the mat, like you're going to tear the edges of the mat apart, and then hit back into the seat bones so that the seat bones really make contact. So gripping the edge of the mat, pushing back into the seat bones. And then release, but see if you can just stretch the palms out again, but see if you can keep the seat bones down on the heels. Just listen to the breath. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Come up onto your knees, turn your toes under, and then come up into dog down. Just feel how your body responds to the pose, whether it comes into the pose willingly or whether there's reluctance. Straighten the legs by tightening the kneecaps. Turn the fronts of the legs inwards so that you can start to push the heels apart. Lift the seat bones up to the ceiling, press the palms deeply into the floor. Just listen to the breath, focusing on keeping the palms pressing into the ground, pushing the legs away. Everyone grip the edges of the mat like we did in Adho Mukha Virasana. Push the hands really firmly into the mat and then hit the tops of the legs away from the arms. Hit the tops of the legs away. And then just reset the hands, just have the hands flat on the floor again. Just trying to hit the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. And then step your feet forwards. Come up into a standing position. And get a couple of blocks for your hands. Get some blocks for your hands and then bring your feet as wide apart as the mat. Your feet as wide apart as the mat. Feel that the feet are touching, feel that the outside edge of the heel is touching the edge of the mat. Feel that the little toes are touching the edge of the mat. Have a quick look down, make sure that the toes are in line in front of you. Sharpen the action of the kneecaps, tighten in the kneecaps, turn in the fronts of the thighs really consciously inwards. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. That probably makes you drop your insteps. So push the inner knees away from each other and then lift the inner knees up towards the groin. And then keep turning the fronts of the legs. That will give you space in your hips. Have the hands on the hips, lift up into the chest, keep the head lifted, hinge at the hips. And then reach down, find the blocks. Be on tiptoes. Sorry, on tips of the fingers, not tiptoes. Have the feet flat on the floor. Hit your legs back so that your weight goes into your heels. Turning the fronts of the legs inwards, the backs of the thighs outwards. Lifting the seat bones, projecting into the chin and the chest. If you can bring the blocks lower, reaching down to the floor, but keep the legs charged determinedly. Feel that the legs are working evenly. And if they're not working evenly, then work internally to bring even attention and action into the legs, into the spine, into the arms, into the head, into the breath. You can go down lower or stay at whatever height you need. Keep hitting the legs away, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, lifting the seat bones to the ceiling. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and then come up into the standing position, and then come into Tadasana. Have the inner edge of the feet together. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Turn the palms all the way out, rotating the upper arms in the sockets. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Bring your arms out nice and wide, in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide apart. Step the left toes in slightly, turn the right leg and foot all the way out, and then turn the legs from the inside out. The big toe side to the little toe side, and then reach down, find the shin. Just see how the pose feels for your body this morning. Listen to the inhalation and the exhalation. Look down to the foot. Is your head in line with the foot? If not, lift the chest a little more. Squeeze the front leg buttock bone forwards a little more. Hit the left leg towards the wall behind you. Look up again. Reach up, come back to the centre. Swap the feet around, turn the right toes in slightly. Left leg and foot all the way out. Just being mindful of the heel in line with the instep or the toes of the back foot, never heel on heel. Turn the legs outwards for from the big toe side of the foot to the little toe side, especially of that front leg. The front leg is the leg that you reach over. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. So from here we're going to go back into dog down, but you can, if you'd rather not go into dog down, or you'd rather not go into dog down from trikonasana, then you can come out of trikonasana, jump the feet together, and then bring yourself into dog down from there. Otherwise, bring the top hand down onto the big toe side of the foot, and the other hand onto the little toe side of the foot. Turn the back leg, and then step your feet back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Again, reactivating the legs, be inside the feeling of the pose. Keep the chest lifted, keep the shoulder blades drawing in towards the front chest. Keep the palms pressing firmly into the floor. And from there, step your feet forwards and then come back up into Tadasana. Just feel how your energy has changed, how your energy is lifted. Observe how the force of energy has changed in the arms, in the chest, in the legs. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Stretch your arms forwards and rise your arms up for urdhvastasana. So I have to turn sideways slightly just so to maximise my ceiling height. Keep the arms straight. If you struggle to straighten your arms, bring them a bit wider apart. Activate the legs in Tadasana. Tighten the kneecaps, turn the fronts of the legs inwards, tuck the tailbone in, draw the abdomen to the spine, draw the lower ribs towards the spine, lift up into the chest. And then gently release your arms. Just have your arms turning outwards, lifting up into the chest, just to observe how energy has changed. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards the chest, and then step or jump the feet apart nice and wide, and then bring your hands onto your hips. Turn the left toes in really steeply, much more steeply than for trikonasana, and then rotate on the right leg. So the foot points directly to the side of the room, and this back leg, the hip probably gets a bit stuck. So the hips probably struggle to come level. So what I want you to do is to pick up the heel of the back foot and to turn the whole of that leg from the little toe side to the big toe side. So Tadasana leg, and then bring the heel back down. And then have your hands on your hips, and hopefully from turning those legs inwards, the fronts of the legs inwards, so the back of the thigh broadens outwards, the hips come more level. Lift up into the chest. Press that back heel firmly into the floor. Lift up into the chest. And then hinge at the hips. And come forwards. Come forwards and reach down. If you can't reach the floor, use blocks underneath your hands. So have some blocks underneath your hands if you need them. But I want you to go from this kind of rounded back to a straight back. So lengthening from the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. The heels this time should be in line with each other. If you struggle to balance, you can bring that foot out to the side a little more. Just feel that you can extend into the spine. Parsvottanasana. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Activating that back leg firmly, pushing into the kneecap of that back leg and lengthening into the spine. And then we're going to bring the left hand over to the little toe side of the foot. Again, you can use a block if you can't reach. And then you're going to bring your right hand into the small of the back and then extend into the spine. Extend into the spine. Keep the spine long and then turn the chest around to the right side of the room. Drawing the abdomen across the leg. Reaching that top shoulder towards the wall behind you. If you can, you reach up. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Lengthening the spine and turning. Okay, come back down. Bring the hands back down onto the floor. Bend the front leg, step forwards, come back up into Tadasana. And then come back into the centre of your mat. So parivrtta trikonasana. Feel your energy, feel how the pose really opens up the energy. It really broadens the glutes. Just listen to the breath. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards the chest and then step the feet nice and wide and then bring the hands onto your hips. Turn the right toes in steeply and then rotate on the left leg. Pick up the heel of that back leg, turn it out. Work to bring the hips level. So turning the fronts of the legs inwards. Have your hands on your hips, lift up into the chest, and then come forwards, using the blocks if you need them, or reaching down to the floor. So at this stage, just make sure that your heels are in line with each other, kind of like a slightly wide Tadasana. Lengthen the spine away, that's really important. Keep that back leg really firm, keep the kneecap tight and keep the back of keep the front of the thigh hitting into the back of the thigh. Extend into the chest. So if you want, you can stay here, or if you want, you can bring the right hand across to the little toe side of the foot, bring the other hand into the small of the back, and then lengthen into the spine. Lengthen into the spine, and then turn to the left side, or turn across that left foot. Reach the top shoulder towards the wall behind you if you can, and then reach up. Or you can keep your hand on your back, whichever feels most doable for you. Just listen to the breath. Keeping those legs straight if you can. Okay, release the hand, come back down onto the floor, just reset. And then step the back foot forwards and then come back into Tadasana. And then just lift the chest. Observe your energy, observe how your energy has changed. So parivrtta trikonasana gets the heart pumping a little, maybe it makes you feel warm. Just observe your breath. Listen to the breath. Focus in on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. Bring your feet hip width apart. If coming forwards doesn't really work brilliantly for your back, then you can just have your hands on the top of a table or a windowsill or something, and then lengthen the spine forwards that way. Otherwise, we're going to go into full uttanasana. So have the feet hip width apart, raise your arms up, hook the thumbs into the crease of the elbows. Keep the head lifted, keep the arms lifted as you come down, and then allow the top of the body to hang down. Activate the legs evenly. Listen to the breath. So go inside and observe the action of the legs. Make sure that they are working evenly. And then release your hands down to the floor, and then walk your hands to the end of the mat and come back up into dog down. Have the hands shoulder width apart, step back a little, have the feet hip width apart, and then come into dog down. Again, just observing your effort. Observing your effort on the inside, aiming for balance of effort. So it requires some deep observation. And then come down onto your knees. Sit back on your heels. And observe your energy. Listen to the breath. Just focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations, feeling the lightness of your energy from the inside. Okay, and then sit either directly onto the floor, have a couple of blocks handy, have a belt handy, or if sitting directly on the floor doesn't work for you, then sit on the folded blanket so that you can extend up into the spine. So just move the legs, the backs of the thighs away from each other, bring the big toes together, and then have the hands at the sides. Lift up into the chest. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. So we can do janu sirsasana. So keep the right leg straight and bend the left knee and bring that left foot in towards the top of the thigh, like you're doing the tree pose, like doing viparita. Just make sure that you haven't disturbed your hips, so that that bent leg hip hasn't kind of hit the wall behind you, hit towards the wall behind you. If this knee is floating up in the air, then get a block and give it some support, just to protect the knee. If the outside of the calf is on the floor, protecting that knee, then that's fine. Get the belt and then throw the belt around your foot. So throw the belt around your foot and then push the foot into the belt and then pull on the belt so that you lift up into the chest. Give yourself enough rope just to give yourself space to start off with. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then just a little bit at a time. Stay at the kind of first stage if you've got a bad back, or if stretching forward aggravates your back. Otherwise, just a little bit at a time. Creep the hands towards the foot, but never at the expense of rounding your back and dropping your head. You're keeping the chest lifted, you're keeping the heart area lifted. If you can reach around the foot, then do take the thumbs with the fingers. Coming forwards, Driving the body forwards, bending the elbows out to the sides if you can reach the hand. Reach around the foot if you can. Or just stay with the belt. Just if you've got the belt, then keep the head lifted. Keep the head lifted. Keep driving the chin and the chest forwards. Otherwise, you can come forwards, bringing the chest onto the leg, turning the chest and the abdomen towards that straight leg, keeping that straight leg really firm at the kneecap. And then you can bring the head down if your chest reaches the floor, if your chest reaches the leg. Turning chest to face the leg. So janu sirsasana. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then lift the head, release the foot, and then come back to the centre, just observing the quietness of coming out of a forward bend. And then straighten the leg, straighten the left leg out, and stretch the legs out in dandasana. And bring the right leg out to the side, keeping the seat bones level. So this leg, you tighten it like you're doing tadasana. Turn this front of the thigh consciously from the little toe side to the big toe side. Get the belt and throw it around the foot. And then lift up into the chest. Turning the chest to face the leg. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And a little at a time, if your back will permit it, come forwards, just come forwards gently, come forwards slowly. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath, stretching forwards, lifting the chest. Pushing the left leg firmly into the arms into the leg. Just facing that straight leg with the chest. Keeping extension from the hips into the armpits. Coming forwards. So janu sirsasana is a really good massage for the liver. It's good for stretching out the kidney region. So there's lots of internal benefits to janu sirsasana. And then lift the head, come back to the centre, and then stretch out the legs. Stretch out the legs, just have the belt around the feet, and then just lift up into the chest. See if you can really draw the lumbar spine in towards the abdomen towards the lumbar. Lifting up into the chest. Breathing even, deep inhalations and exhalations. So these sequences bring warmth to the inside of the body. Some of these poses bring warmth, some bring coldness, but the ones that we have been working on so far bring warmth. Okay, release the belt and then come down onto your back and just come down into supta padangusthasana. The soles of the feet together, knees apart, and just rest your hands on your lower ribs. Rest your hands on the lower ribs. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. As you hold onto the lower ribs, observe how the chest opens and lifts with the in-breath, how the abdomen rises with the in-breath, and how it falls with the out-breath, how the chest relaxes with the out-breath. Okay, bring your knees together. Have your knees together and your feet apart for a moment, just to rest out the back, rest out the hips. Okay, so I'm just going to shuffle down a little so I've got a bit more space. So keep the feet as close to the seat bones as you can get them. Get a belt and then bend the right leg and then hook the belt around the ball joint of the right foot and then raise that leg up to the sky, up to 12 o'clock. And then push the left heel into the floor and slide it along the floor until the leg straightens. So straighten out that left leg. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Work to get that lifted leg straight. So give yourself enough rope with the belt to straighten the leg. We're not trying to pull the leg over the face, we're just bringing the leg directly to the sky, to 12 o'clock. Activate that left leg, tighten the kneecap, turn the front of that left leg inwards, like you do in Tadasana. Do the same with the other leg. Turn the legs inwards, like we did in parsvottanasana. So if you think about it, parsvottanasana, at one stage it's fairly similar to this. The hips are level. The legs are activating. Take hold of both ends of the belt in the right hand and then rest your left hand on the hip. Keep that right leg straight and bend your right elbow out in line with your shoulder, bringing that leg out to the side. So supta padangusthasana 2. So this leg shouldn't be on the floor. If it's on the floor, you're cheating. So it just comes out in line with the, so try and get the big toe in line with your ear. Keep that left leg really firmly activated. Turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, tightening the kneecaps. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Okay, bring that leg back to the center, unhook the belt, and then just rest into the floor. Just let the body rest into the floor for a moment. So maybe that right leg feels like it's lower in the floor than the other. Maybe it makes the legs feel a bit uneven. But of course, the leg isn't lower into the floor than the other. It's just that the leg has become energized. So it feels more active. Okay, Bend your knees again, bring the feet down onto the floor, and then this time hook the left foot into the belt. Pushing that left leg up to the ceiling. Again, activate that leg, keep it straight. Lengthen the hip of that lifted leg away from the armpit. Move that hip away from the armpit. Push the heel of the right foot into the floor and then slide it along the floor until it straightens. Work to straighten both legs, turning the fronts of the legs inwards. So breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Straightening the leg is the priority. So if you have to, then you just give yourself more belt and have the, and you just make the angle of the leg less. Reach up, take hold of the belt as close to the foot as you can. Keep both legs straight, keep the right leg really firmly activated, rest the right hand on the hip, and then bend your left elbow out in line with your shoulder. Bring that leg out to the side. Keep the right leg really firmly activated like you're in Tadasana. Keeping that back leg straight. Turning the front thigh inwards. Turning that back leg inwards. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Supta padangusthasana 2. So you feel really deep length into the hamstrings. Okay, bring that leg back to the center. Release the leg and then just rest the legs down into the floor. Just let the arms rest onto the floor. Just observe your energy. Observe how your energy has changed. Just listening to the sound of the in-breath, the sound of the out-breath. Just relaxing into the floor. And then bend the legs, pull the feet as close to the seat bones as you can, and then bring the feet together, bring the knees together. Have the arms out in line with your shoulders, palms facing upwards. So we're going to do jathara parivitanasana. So it's a spinal twist along the floor. But you've got to keep your knees clamped together, you've got to keep your feet clamped together. So when we go over to the right side, the left foot will leave the floor. But keep the feet clamping together. So in a moment, we're going to bring the knees over to the right side so that the right foot just sits on the outside edge of the foot. Bring the knees out to the side, keep the knees clamped together. Rotate the abdomen from the right to the left and then look over that left hand. So the knees are turning one way, the rest of the body is trying to turn in the other direction. Drawing the knees down to the floor, but knees together, feet together, drawing the abdomen away from the knees. Okay, and then gently come back to the center. So reset the feet, have the feet as close to the seat bones as you can get them, have the feet together, the knees together, and then bring the knees over to the left. And draw the abdomen away from the knees from the left to the right. Stretch the head across so that you're looking at your right hand. Keep the knees together, the feet together, drawing the abdomen in the opposite direction. Jathara parivitanasana. Okay, and then bring the hips back onto the floor, bring the knees back to the center, and then pull your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then stretch out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. And then just come into cross legs. Just into cross legs. Holding the knees, lifting up into the chest. Observe how your energy has changed. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Filling the lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying them from the top to the bottom. Okay, and then just come back down onto your back. Have a folded blanket for underneath your head. Just lay yourself down along the floor with the blanket underneath your head. Just take hold of the edges of the mat, bend your knees and stretch the legs up to the ceiling for a moment or two. Just viparita, karanhi, gentle inversion. Just bringing energy into the immune system. Extend the heels to the ceiling. Spread the toes. Tighten the kneecaps. Turn the fronts of the legs inwards. And then bend your knees, bring your feet onto the floor. Just stretch your legs out, just come up onto your elbows for a moment. Make sure you're in a really good straight line right down the centre of your mat. And then just let the legs fall apart. Have the hands out from the sides of the body a little so that there's space in the armpit chest. And allow the body to release into the floor. Let the body become heavy on the ground. Let the body become heavy. So unhook the muscles of the arms and the legs. Unhooking the muscles of the arms and the legs, let the body just be heavy on the floor. And observe that feeling of energetic lightness that radiates from the bones and into the muscles. Allow the body to release into the floor and give in to that sensation of energetic lightness that radiates from the bones, radiating into the muscles and into the organs. Just allow the body to rest into the floor, using your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness down into the toes, into the fingertips, and all the way up into the top of the head. Just enjoy this sensation of physical lightness, distributing that energy all the way to the top of the head, down into the tips of the toes. And then when you're ready to disturb yourself, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, bend your knees in toward your chest, and then just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Gentle massage on the spine. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. And then come into cross legs, hold onto your knees for a moment, lift the chest, lift the heart area. Bring your hands into Namaste. Close your eyes and draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions, the forward bends, the twists, the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet the chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you have really lifted your energy and given yourself some good, positive energy to put into your day. So thank you very much.